Here's the punter, Sam Martin, now ready to get us started. And we are underway from Ford Field. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. And a glance here at the vet. He's got a lot of years under his belt in the National Football League.
You almost feel privileged, partner, every time you get to see him run out in the field to start a game, because every game, every snap, you and I both know he has potential to do something special, and that inspires his teammates as well. They know how incredible he is. They want to give max effort as well.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on fourth down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. No gain on the play. 3rd and 7 now. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
To throw, Warner. And this is going to be incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
So on fourth down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. This is taken at the 18. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt, and the Lions will take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a longtime starter in the NFL, a former #1 overall pick way back in 2009. It's Matthew Stafford.
Every quarterback in the NFL has a little bit of his own signature style out there, but for this guy, he really plays the game in a different way. It's led to a couple double takes from us up here as we see him as something truly unique. It's not that he's just the strongest passer or the best athlete to ever play the position. He just has a certain way of seeing the action, and it allows him to make some special plays out there.
Stafford's throw complete there to Johnson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. From the 46, here's second down and 3. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And this is incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the gun, here's Stafford. He's got his target. That's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 44-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that earns him a fresh set of downs.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
From the 43, here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw, Stafford. And that's complete to Sanders. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
So the Rams coming back onto the field, their 2nd drive of the game. And the last drive, their 1st drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt, they're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. On 1st and 10, Warner. And his throw here's incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Warner. And his pass incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Now Warner. And that's incomplete.
Not much happening offensively here early on. That's 2 drives and 0 first downs. This defense, they've come to play, and they're the better of the 2 units here so far.
So on now is Johnny Hecker to punt this one away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And they were in field goal range the last time out, but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. Sanders has it over the middle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. He can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
On 1st down, Stafford here. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Stafford. And he fires one incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Stafford. And that's caught inside the 30. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 33 yards that time.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
To throw is Stafford. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Rams are going to have it here at their own 15. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
And the Rams getting set to go now. And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track? Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And they start in the best of all positions, 1st and goal. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. After the interception, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. He rifles complete, caught by Moore. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Stafford now to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. From 4 yards out. And the Lions take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
So a tiptoe catch back in the end zone, so tough to do, but he made it look pretty easy.
Certainly did, and the back of the end zone is treated the same way as the sideline. You have to get your feet down, in bounds, for it to count as a catch. How about the backgrounds of some of these guys, though? Did they work on it? Maybe some of them were ballet, some dance, who knows?
Yeah, you and I were talking the other day. I remember one of my favorite kids shows growing up. I don't know that I want to name it, but guys like Lynn Swan, they used to be on there showing their ballet skills.
And you have to remember when they were kids and their parents would tell them to take the ballet classes, you know they were fighting them like crazy. But right now they're saying, thanks, Mom.
Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. L.A. readies for its next possession. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. A big play there for L.A. 49 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Warner. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. So a nice bounce back there defensively after giving up the big play.
Yeah, you can either get down on yourself or you can get motivated. And that time, they dropped him for a loss. So I would say that they got motivated and made the play.
On 2nd down, Warner. Over the middle and complete to the tight end, Higbee.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back. But now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Here's Warner. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Rams 1st down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
Play action. It's Warner. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Lions are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw something away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
Yeah, Detroit back in possession of the football. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. On 1st down, it's Stafford. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Stafford. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now Stafford. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That goes for a gain of 31.
What a first quarter he's been putting together. He scored the touchdown earlier, and he's in phase right out of the gate. Right now, he's playing with such confidence, he doesn't believe that they have an answer for him no matter what they do on defense. And here's another big play to prove his point.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. A give running left. It's Sanders. Gets past one man. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
St. Brown in motion right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. Oh, this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. Finding Sanders on the crossing route. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams 19. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Stafford. That is incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Complete on the quick throw to Moore. And the Lions are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
That false start knocks them back behind the 10 now as they'll try again, 1st and goal. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Now Stafford on third and goal. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And this Rams defense comes up with a goal line stand. But clearly that was a design play. I just don't know that it was the right design. I mean, your holder, to have him pick it up and kind of be the power guy trying to run through the middle, everything has to go right for that to work.
You mean you weren't relying on just great blocking to get him through? You kind of think maybe he can help make his own way if he's an actual running back instead of the holder? Yeah, I thought the same thing.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Short throw, it's Higbee. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Now 2nd and 5. Warner to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now Warner. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Instead of a 3rd and 1 run, they go pass, and they get 12 yards out of it.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
It'll be Warner on 1st down. Connecting with Kupp here on the out route. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down. Toss play. This is Eric Dickerson. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Here's Johnny Hecker now as he's on to punt for L.A. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. St. Brown making the catch on the out route. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
You think about the great receivers in the game, what do they have in common? The ability to create separation in their routes. Whether it's a head fake, a sharp cut, selling a different route, the subtle bump, it's a tough skill to teach. And this is well done here to get open and pick up the first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw is Stafford. Sanders has it over the middle. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. From the 33, here's 2nd down and 7. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
Well, he worked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively. Just too hard to keep him under wraps, and delivers a big play here for this offense.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Stafford. Again, it's Johnson. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a first down.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
2nd down and 4. Throwing is Stafford. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
With his height, that's exactly where you want to put it for him. But even that throw was a little tall to connect for the touchdown.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The LA defense up the snuff in coverage there. Pushes this to 4th down.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive. Stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
Prater's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This fielded right at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. To throw, Warner. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. Warner from the gun. Getting this into the hands of Eric Dickerson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 16 yards is the pickup there and a 1st down for L.A.
And this may be the one to build on right here. It's the 2nd quarter. They've got nothing on the scoreboard as of yet. They need to put something together, and this is a good start as they get the completion there for good yardage and a 1st down.
Going to give it up the middle. Here's Dickerson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd down and 6 now. Play action. It's Warner. Wide open receiver complete. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, there's no disputing. He's made some poor throws in this first half, but this was a good one. And you can bet this is an offense that isn't going to pull back. They believe in what he can do. So all you can do is look forward, and they pick up a 1st down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Warner. Short throw, it's Higbee. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Now Warner. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's 4th.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the 1st down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking 1st down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a 1st down.
Zerline's kick is up and through. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time. We'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. On 1st and 10, Stafford. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. But what people often forget, defense is audible as well. And a lot of times when they see an empty backfield, they audible right into a blitzing situation.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Here's Sanders. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. How about this? He's to the 10, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
Stafford. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Stafford now to throw. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. 2nd and 10, Stafford again. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw, Stafford. Pressure comes and down he goes. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Now the Rams going to take over late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. On 1st and 10, Warner. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Warner. A quick throw there is incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Warner to throw. And that will be incomplete as well. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. And the Lions going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. And we'll see how much they want to push things, leading already here 10-3. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Stafford. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Here now, 3rd and a yard. From the gun, here's Stafford. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive.
Oh, they had a good chance to get off the field defensively there. If they could just wrap up, it's going to be a 4th down. But instead, they can't get him on the deck, and he allows them to pick up the 1st down.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. To throw is Stafford. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but Let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Stafford. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw a vintage first half from the veteran Matthew Stafford. He has a touchdown pass, and that amounted to the only touchdown of the game for either team thus far.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the 2nd half is underway. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And the Lions getting set to go on offense to start the 3rd. This offense set to begin the 3rd quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2nd and 5. Here's Stafford. And that's incomplete.
Got to give credit to both defenses because they've been able to keep the points down. And despite that incompletion, I like the way he's playing. He's putting up decent numbers. What he has to do, find a way to make that sound read and hit that one home run before this one's over.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw. Stafford. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Lions first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
That's not the first time they've looked his way when they've needed a big play. He's been the go-to guy all game long. And they get the hook up again on 3rd down to keep this drive alive.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing again is Stafford. Quick completion here to Johnson. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll run here with Sims. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Play action. Stafford. Left side here to Sanders. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it 2nd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And he's got this down to the 35. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Meanwhile, Stafford's throw complete there to St. Brown. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Third down and 1. Now a carry for Sanders. And fights through one man. Still on his feet. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. 63 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the 2nd half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Sanders. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Now 3rd down and 7. Throwing is Stafford. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. Prater's kick is good, and they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Now a first down throw. Warner. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete, and he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And it'll be second down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
This 2nd and 4. Warner. And that one's going to come up a little short. It's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Now Warner. It's complete. He finds Falk here. And he is going to have a Rams first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
It'll be Warner on first down. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his second drop, indeed, not a good look. To throw, Warner. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Warner from the gun. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete. Detroit was up for the challenge through the air. They force a 4th down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Zerline's kick is up and through. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. So 3 points, maybe not a grand prize at this stage, but it does get them back within 1 score.
It certainly does, because now they stay within shouting distance, so that means everyone on your sideline stays engaged in this game. They know they still have a shot.
After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added onto their lead, but that was a drive that was so long it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now a play fake it at Stafford. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards the pickup there. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Concentration, so key on a ball like that. It's hard. I know how difficult it is, but that's a ball you've got to come up with. And instead, a big play is going to slip through their fingers, literally and figuratively.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. Here's Johnson with a reception. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 28. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. But he's turning in a nice performance. Remember, he had the touchdown earlier, and this time he's able to beat double coverage to grab it.
I think that if he weren't worried about a taunting penalty, he'd run by the opposing team's bench and say, guys, 2's not going to be enough. You better get some more guys trying to cover me. He knows how to get open downfield.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield of man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays just like that one we saw there.
They'll run with Sanders. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And that is incomplete. The LA defense up the snuff in coverage there. Pushes this to 4th down.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Prater's kick is good. And that one makes this a 10-point game at 16-6. A second field goal here in his 3rd quarter, and his 3rd of the game so far.
He's been an important part of the offense, that's for sure, and they may need him again before this one's said and done. So I would treat him like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter. Leave him alone and let him focus.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. LA set to take over again on offense. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6. Here's Warner. Short throw, it's Higbee. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Rams on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 2. Warner to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
You can see the thought process there. With his speed, they were hoping he could pop one. Instead, the coverage was good, and they forced the incompletion.
Here's Johnny Hacker now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 16. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Another run here with Sanders. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 94 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's 2nd down. I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 37. A nice pickup of 17 yards. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. They'll run. It's Sanders. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
From the gun, here's Stafford. To the sideline and incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
So here comes the veteran Matt Prater in a big spot in this ball game. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And the 39-year-old veteran puts it right through, and that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
On 1st and 10, Warner. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that's going to bring up second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On second down, Warner. He finds his man, complete. It's Holt, and he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup, 17 yards, and also a Rams first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now Warner. He finds his man, complete. It's Holt, and he's got this down to the 35. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's second down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
That's caught left side. It's Higbee, the tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest and a first down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Out of the gun, here's Warner. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Looking to throw. Warner. And they'll get him down short of the first down, right on the 10-yard line. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Lions will take over. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Now a first down throw. Stafford. Johnson with a completion over the middle. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Stafford. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And they'll be stopped at the 28 on a play that started at the 14. They pick up 14. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. To throw is Stafford. Open man downfield is Sanders. He's got him. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. 72 yards. And the Lions have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter. Well, it seemed like they were so focused elsewhere they forgot about the tight end spot, and he's the one that burns him there to make this a 3-score game here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
I think there might be a little bit of defensive fatigue from those guys on that side of the ball, partner, because they've been spending their time trying to stop them from all angles. This time, the tight end gets them.
Stafford's going to try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. And the formula there on the 2-point try to go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, Make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Rams ready to go on offense. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
To throw on 2nd down, Warner. Short throw, it's Higbee. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This time it's 3rd and 3. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed a push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
Now they run with Sims. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. This from 36 yards out. Prater's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. Taken at the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
It'll be Warner on first down. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a handoff up the middle. Sanders. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
2nd down and 8. Another run with Sanders. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. 107 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire 2nd half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Lions as we say so long from Ford Field.